Happy BT World Convergence, BT World, BT21. The deck overall is much better. I will say right off the bat, I don't think you need the old Galacticmon at all. And it kind of sucks because back in the day when it came out, it was pretty pricey. But yeah, you don't really need them. And we'll talk about why I don't think you need them. And this deck takes time to set up like it used to because you need Vemmons in the trash and all that stuff. But it's much faster with Tamer, and you know, we'll get into it. So right off the bat, we do have the new egg that gives you 4,000 DP if you have 4 Vemmon. 4,000, 3,000? If you have 4 Vemmon in the sources, I don't like it because your whole gimmick with the deck is to remove Vemmons from your sources, or when you protect yourself, you remove the Vemmons. So I just don't see any value in playing it. Maybe not yet, maybe in the future when it gets more cards that allow it to just give Vemmons from the trash to the source. So we're going to stick to the Doraemon. When a card is inserted in its stack, you get to draw 1. And you do that a lot, especially with a lot of the new cards. You're able to just reveal cards and then tuck them into Digimon without trigger off the Doraemon. So it just really accelerates the deck, which I think you need more than simply just DP. 14,000 is okay, you know, and then you can protect yourself. We're running 8 of the OG Vemmon. It's still very good, but it has its drawback. Its drawback is when it reveals cards, you can't add Zenith, you can't add the new option card to your hand. So you can have up to 50 copies of this one, although you're not gonna run 50 copies. So when you do have it during your main phase, if you suspend it, you get to reveal 3 cards, and then you get to add 1 Snatchmon, Destromon, or Galacticmon, or fusionize among them to the hand, and place 1 Vemmon among them under this Digimon as its bottom source. So now the whole thing is done with Doraemon, ready to Digivolve there. You come up, suspend, you get to plug 1 in. You already got a card from revealing, and you get to draw 1. Inherit when this Digimon would Digivolve into Destromon or Galacticmon, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. This sucks. The new ones just reduce it if it has Vemmon in its text, which is much better. Because, for example, if you have 2 of these and then you Digivolve into a Snatchmon, you can't reduce it because it only reduces it for Destromon and Galactic. So be mindful when you are doing that if you want to keep your turn and do stuff. Let's talk about the BT18 Vemmon. Running 4 of these, this card is awesome. It essentially does the same thing but better because it has an on-play. So when you play it, reveal 3 cards from your deck, then you can add 1 card with Vemmon in its text to the hand, and place 1 Vemmon as any of your Digimon's bottom sources. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. That is important because when you do have your Galacticmon and you drop the Vemmon, you can tuck a source into the Galactic. You kind of don't want to do it to that unless you want to build up and you're able to do stuff there. So this one allows you to add the new Zenith to your hand, the new Ragnarok Cannon because it has Vemmon in its text. So that's what this deck needed more, is just being able to get more of the Vemmon cards and utilize them better. Inherit once per turn when this Digimon will Digivolve into a Digimon card with Vemmon in its text, reduce it by 1. So that's what I mean. So you ideally, these are the ones that help you reduce going into the Snatchmon, which is good because of Snatchmon Digivolve for 3. And last but not least, the new BT21 Vemmon has an on-play by trashing 1 card with Vemmon in its text. You get to get 1 non-Digi-egg card from the trash with Vemmon in its text back to your hand. So you can recycle your Galacticmon, you can recycle your Zenith even. This is good because, for example, I have Pride Memory Boost. So when I play it, it will trash cards, and then you can just play the Vemmon, and then you can pick up a Galacticmon. Not only that, since it helps you build up trash, you have the Fusionize. Fusionize, you can Digivolve from the trash. The Inherit, same as the BT18 one, you can reduce Digivolution cost into a card that has Vemmon in its text. So I'm running 16. I feel like that's a good split of Vemmons. I don't think you need any more because surprisingly the deck searches pretty quick. 4 of the new BT21 Snatchmon is beautiful. Has on-play when Digivolving, reveal 3 cards, and then add 1 card with Vemmon in its text among them to the hand, trash the rest. And then it still has like the old Snatchmon ability when you Digivolve, grab 2 Vemmon from your sources, but this one states as one of your Digimon's Digivolution cards. So If you end up playing this, it doesn't have to go to this one. It goes to your Galacticmon, any other body you have. So making this card just beautiful. So they kind of made it into a way where you can recycle your Vemmons once you protect yourself from the Galacticmon's effect. And it's just awesome. All turns, effect, inherit. When any Vemmon are returned to the bottom of the deck from this Digimon sources, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less. It's not with the old Zenith. Do the old Zenith first, where you remove 2, and then you can Digivolve, and then you can pop this effect, and now delete that Digimon if it's a play cost of 4 or less. So it kind of goes hand in hand. I'm actually not running that Zenith in this build. We'll talk about it once we get there. And then this one is the best Snatchmon to play for sure, just because you can actually go into Galacticmon in 1 turn. What makes this card just busted? I'm gonna read it and it's very confusing, but I got clarification. We'll talk about it. While you have no Digimon other than Vemmon, cards in your trash can also be placed for this card's Digicross. Digicrossing, you can Digicross 4 Vemmon. When this would be played, you may play specific cards from the hand. Battle area under it, each one reduces the play cost. So essentially, the way this works is if you have no Digimon on the field, you can still proc that effect. I was so confused because it has no comma, right? So if it would say, well, you have no Digimon, comma, or Vemmon, then it's just the way it's worded. The point is, if you have a Vemmon or not, you can get away with Digicrossing using your trash, which is awesome because now you end up playing the Snatchmon for 2. So when you're at 3, you drop it for 2 Digicrossing, and now you have, so that's 4. Then you can reduce it by 4. You can Digivolve into a Destromon for 1, and then you can go to Galactic for 6, or you can just straight skip to the Galactic and reduce it by 4, which would be total cost of 5. So when Digivolving, you may place 2 Vemmon from your trash as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution cards. So the Snatchmon just have that effect going where grab Vemmon from the trash and put it underneath. This one doesn't allow you to put it in any other Digimon, so it wouldn't allow you to put it in your Galacticmon, only the new one does. Then end of your turn, if this Digimon has 4 or more Digivolution cards, it may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Vemmon and its text in the hand. That is beautiful because if they leave you at 1, and you end up, Digicrossing with 4, your opponent's at 1, now you could do the end of your turn. It's kind of like end of your turn DNA, but it's an end of your turn Digivolve instead. I can go into Galacticmon, and then you still will pay the cost, be aware of that. Excuse me, but then you can pop off with it. Inherits all turns when any Vemmon returns to the bottom of the deck from this Digimon sources, this Digimon unsuspends and gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. Really cool. Last but not least, I'm not running the old Snatchmon just because I don't think you need it. This is it. And we're doing 2 hybrids, and I'm going to explain why. The new option card allows you to burn all your opponent's security, and then the Galacticmon hits the last one. And a lot of the times you can't close because then you still need that extra attack. Now if you have like 2 bodies, then you can get away with it, but if the opponent deletes it or whatnot. But then if you have your Zenith on the field, you can just hybrid the game. So that's kind of why I'm running it. Another thing too is that it has an on plane when Digivolving. It makes one of your Digimon game blocker, which could be good, especially if you need like an extra turn or whatnot. Let's talk Destromon. New Destromon, we're only playing 3 of. This one, when you Digivolve until your opponent's turn ends, their effects can trash this Digimon's stacked cards. Then to one of your opponent's Digimon, to Digivolve 1 for every 2 Vemmon in this Digimon's cards. This is a reason why I don't play the old Zenith, because it's... Now don't get me wrong, the old Zenith, it helps you put Vemmons in the trash, it helps you gain memory, it helps you draw, and then you can do Digivolve. But it's one of those cards where it's better, like, I don't know, like in theory, it's cool and it would work, but then when you actually play, it doesn't. Like the Violet Inboots in Necromon, you don't play the Memory Setter one, you play the other one. But if you read it, you're like, oh yeah, this would be good in the deck, but it's not. It's kind of one of those things. It already did Digivolves for you, if you have the 2 Vemmon. Then it does have all turns. When this Digimon will leave the battle area, you may play 1 Vemmon from its sources without paying the cost. That'd be good. Actually, it's good because then, if it ends up getting deleted, you can play the BT21 Vemmon, trash something else, and recycle it. Or you can play other Vemmon and start getting sources underneath of yourself, or you can play the old one, and then the old one, if it's still your turn, just trigger his effect with the main phase, reveal cards and tuck things underneath. Inherits opponent's turn once per turn when any of your opponent's Digimon attacks by returning 2 Vemmon from this Digimon sources to the bottom of the deck and that attack. That's another reason why I don't think you need the extra DP from the new Sunamon. Sunamon? Is it? Sunamon? Sunamon is Gobblemon's. You get what I'm saying. Karamon's rookie. In training, not even rookie. Because you're just ending the attack. It doesn't really matter. The old Destromons switch the attack to you, to the Galacticmon. So now if they have more DP, then, you know. But I almost like this better because you just negate an attack. So I'm running 3. And then last but not least, equally just as good, if not better, especially for this format. If you're, you know, we're playing against adventure decks, we're playing against hybrid. Feels like tamers are not really going anywhere anytime soon, not that they ever did. So you want a way to delete your opponent's tamers and pop them. You can Digicross from a Snatchmon and 4 Vemmon, so it would be a play cost of 5 if you Digicross, so you'll play hard drop it for 5. So as a non-player when Digivolving, choose any number of your opponent's Digimon and tamers so that their play cost total is up to 3, and delete them. For each Vemmon in this Digimon sources, add 1 to the maximum total play cost you can choose. I've gotten as high as up to 7, and it's pretty cool. This is actually really good against like Emperor Greymon with Red Hybrid because you're just popping the tamers, and they kind of need their tamers to kind of pop off in a way, especially the dual tamer with I'm trying blanks on this. The dual tamer, the red and yellow one, where you know tucks in stuff underneath. You just pop it and it has all the sources. So inherit of this one, opponent's turn when an opponent's Digimon attacks by returning 2 Vemmon from one of the Galacticmon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of the deck. Switch the attack target to this Digimon. I want to point something important out. The new Destromon doesn't say from a Galacticmon, right? So it states when one of your opponent's Digimon attacks by returning 2 Vemmon from this Digimon sources, and that's important because that means if you don't have Galacticmon and you have another level 6, like Shadow Seraphimon, for example, you could actually get away with dropping that inherit of Destromon, but you can't do it for this one. Let's talk about really quickly Shadow Seraphimon, since I already told you I'm running it. I might bump this up to 3, so if you don't want to do the hybrids, you could definitely run another Shadow Seraphimon because you're milling a lot and you're bottom decking a lot of cards that are not Vemmon in this text. So a lot of the times you might not even see it. This one is an ace, right? So when your opponent attacks, you can counter, meaning you can blast, Digivolve for free, so long as you gotta meet the requirements. In this case, you could Digivolve over a black or a yellow for free during your opponent's turn. On play when Digivolving, de-Digivolve 3, one of your opponent's Digimon. Another reason why I don't think you need other Zenith. All turns once per turn, when attack targets change, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5,000 DP for the turn. That is great, because if they end up swinging, let's say they attack, you blast, the Digivolve 3, and now it goes back to like, okay. Let's play it this way. They have 2 bodies, swing with the Destromon, you Digivolve it, now it goes to whatever. You can block this one, it's popped, and then give this one minus 5. So now you just kind of cleared the board. 4 of the new Galactic. This card is great. I'm gonna flex here just because it fits the video. I actually pulled the SP of Galactic. So I have in my little printed stand. Look at that beauty. If you guys haven't seen it, that's pretty cool. And I'm happy because the Galacticmon is actually going to be usable. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. In the future, they're just going to play with this one. So Digivolves over level 5 for 6, or over your Snatchmon for 9. If you end up doing the whole Snatchmon thing, you can reduce it by 4, so it costs 5, which is not bad at all. Especially because you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck when you Digivolve into this Galacticmon. When Digivolving by placing 4 cards with Vemmon in their text. So this could be Zenith, this could be the option card, this could be Fusionize because it has Vemmon in its text. It could be any card so long as it has Vemmon anywhere in the whole card, which is awesome. The old Galacticmon only does Vemmons, Keep that in mind. When you place 4 cards with Vemmon and their text from your trash as Digimon's bottom sources, you may use one Ragnarok Cannon. Without paying the cost from your hand or trash, which is beautiful. Because if the Pride Memory Boost trashes it, then you're good to go. You don't really need it in your hand at that point. Starting your main phase, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. The old Galactic trashes one of your opponent's security, and it's redundant because this just burns it. All turns, when this Digimon would leave the battle area by returning 4 Vemmon from this Digivolution's cards to the bottom of the deck, it doesn't leave. Same thing as other Galacticmon. It would have been more busted if it said with Vemmon in its text. So there you go. There's a whole thing with Galacticmon which leads into the Ragnarok, which we'll talk about. And I will get into the combos and basically how this whole deck works. 4 of the Ragnarok Cannon. Now, if you want to run 3, you can. But 4, you actually use them, believe it or not. Main effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost, then place this card in the battle area. Your turn, when one of your Galacticmon attacks, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. If this effect did not delete, trash top cards of your opponent's security stack so that it has 1 card left. And there you go. This is why the old Galacticmon is just you don't need to use it. So now the start of your main phase here is what helps you trigger the secondary effect of the play of the option card. So start of your main phase, you pop a Digimon. You attack. Hopefully they have no Digimon on the board now. Pop that off. You burn for security. That's the 5th check, and now you need 1 more check per game. Security effect, you may play 1 card with Vemmon in its text and a play cost of 6 or less from your hand or trash without paying the cost, then add this card to the hand. Very good, because that could play any of your new cards, but it could also play the new Snatchmon, and then it has the on play, reveal stuff, and you can tuck more cards into Galacticmon, which is why I'm running 4. You could play Zenith off of this. So, really good card. I do think 4 is good, for sure. 2 Fusionize. Fusionize, I'm kind of like I'm really thinking of just dropping the card. A lot of times I just have it in my hand, and I'm like, okay, I guess. So Fusionize, when you play this card, if you have a Snatchmon and play, reduce it by 1. Main effect, by placing 1 Vemmon or Destromon from your trash under one of your Digimon as its bottom sources, you may Digivolve one of your Digimon into Destromon or Galacticmon from your trash for its Digivolution cost. So yeah, security effect, you may reveal top 3 cards of your deck, play 1 Vemmon among them without paying the cost, trash the rest. Helps with trash stuff, helps to play Vemmon. You can recycle this with the Vemmon as well, which I don't think that's why you need more than 2. And 2 Pride Memory Boost helps you build trash and helps you gain memory. My 2 things. Oh, 3. And then you can play a Digimon with the play cost 4 or less, so now you can drop Vemmons. So it kind of sets you up, and then you just play this one, and then you just reveal stuff, add cards, tuck stuff underneath. So now when it's your turn again, you're at 3 with the Zenith. Pop this, now you're at 5, and you can do things and keep turn. I had this at 3, and then I had something, and I had Fusionize at 3, and I didn't have the Mercurymon. So if you don't want to run the Mercurymon, I had 3 of each. But then I'm trying the hybrids, and the new Zenith is actually really good because it does multiple things. It is a memory set tamer. On play, reveal 3 cards from your deck. And then it lets you play 1 Vemmon without paying the cost, or you get to add 1 card of Vemmon and its text to the hand and trash the rest. It just helps you build stuff, play Vemmons if you want to, which sometimes I like to do that because now you're kind of searching deeper into the deck, especially when you play the searcher one. So you drop that, and then you play that, so now you're searching up to 6 cards and getting pieces you need. So the deck has definitely gotten much faster, but it still needs time to set up. Let me show you just a quick combo of what you can do with the Galacticmon and how it actually works. Now this is if your opponent cleared your board and you only have the Zenith and you have 1 Pride Memory Boost, so you're at 3. And kind of mid to late game, if you have 4 Vemmons from your hand or trash, since you have no Digimon on board, now you can just drop 4 of the Vemmons and Digicross for 2. Remember, you don't draw because you did play. Now you got 1, 2, 3, 4 Vemmons. Now you can go into Galactic. Destromon for 1. And then you can pop a Tamer, pop Digimon, you can come back. A lot of the times what happens is you get stuck here because you run out of memory. And then that's where the Shadow Seraphimon comes into play. And it's very good because they're going to try and delete this. Especially if you attacked, they're going to try and swing over it because you have no way to protect yourself. So then they'll try and swing over it, and then that's when you just, you know, blast. It's kind of the whole, essentially why you're running the Shadow Seraphimon. Because then if they don't delete it, now you can go into Galacticmon for 1, 2, 3, 4, reduced by 4. So you get to play it for 2. In this case, but yeah, that's one thing. So now when you do have your Destromon, say it didn't delete it, you still have your Destromon, you end up, you know, just Digivolving down there. You get to now Digivolve for reduced cost of 4 from 6, so you're at 2. And then you get to play a Ragnarok Cannon. Now the other thing that sucks about this is you gotta wait a full turn to take advantage of the burning security from Ragnarok. Kinda helps. And now here, if you don't have a Destromon or Snatchmon, whatever it is, you can tuck in, you know, the remaining cards that you need under it. You tuck them in, and then he can protect himself, he can become a blocker, whatever. Now when it's your turn again, even if you didn't have the Zenith, and they leave you at 1, ideally, this is what you want, because this is how you're going to win. Start of your main phase, pops a Digimon, but then they might have 2. So that's what sucks, is if you do that, you trigger this, you'll just pop the other Digimon and won't get the effect. So a way around this deck is just to have 2 bodies. But you swing, and now you do that, you burn 4 securities. So let's say this is their security. Now it's their security. They got 5 here. They hit the Ragnarok. They're gonna burn 4. They're not gonna trigger unless it's option cards that say when this card would be trashed. Or is it trashed? Yeah. But if not, they don't trigger. So now you got 1. Now that attack goes through, pops off, and now you would swing with this one. But what if they pop this one? So now that's where your problem lies. Is now you can't finish it, and you're stuck with that. But now there, I mean, obviously you don't have the Zenith here, but if you did, and you're still at 1, that's when you would either hit the Pride, or if you don't have the Pride and you are at 3, you can do all that, and now you can go into the Mercurymon, and then finish game. Kind of the whole thing. I will be partnering up with my local game store, and I think I'm gonna bring you guys some gameplay, which I'm very excited for. I'm gonna give some prizings, and it's gonna be exciting, so stay tuned, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.